Ashe and Grand Rising, a grand day to you all once again, my fellow humans, and welcome to this day 14th in the series of another perspective on healthy living with your senior lifestyle advisor. Plus, yes, it's I, the Mystic Philosopher. So, in previous episodes, I spoke a lot about bad mind, and I also told you that from my perspective, bad mind equals sin, or bad mind is equal to sin. I told you that bad mind is sin, or bad mind is a sin. And some of you, my listeners, might even think that I came down very hard on bad minded people, or some would say bad minded people. For your information, we are all to some greater or lesser degree victims of bad mind. From my perspective, none of us humans that are alive today, yes, alive in this reality, can honestly and knowingly claim that he or she has perfectly clean hands and a pure heart, aka a pure mind. None of us can honestly claim that. A mind that has never known sin can claim a mind that has never been infiltrated or invaded and infected with and by sinful thoughts, by the virus called sin. A mind, none of us can claim that we have a mind that is not and has never been corrupted by strange and unwelcome thoughts. None of us can honestly and sensibly claim that he or she have never sinned, have never erred, have never made mistakes, have not done wrong. From my perspective, the only people that can and the only people that will make such bare-faced claims are the said bare-faced corrupted-minded people, the wicked and abominable people, the self-righteous people, the very dangerously insane people, the chronic bad mind people that I have been identifying throughout the series. And it is also written and spoken by wise men and women thousands of years ago that as humans we all have sinned. And that if we say that we have no sin, or if we say that we have never sinned or have not sinned, we are deceiving ourselves. And guess what? The truth is not in us. And it is with this knowledge, with this understanding, and understanding, why daily self-examination, daily self-affirmations, and mantras for the purpose of protecting our mind, aka protecting our metaphysical space from being invaded, being infested and corrupted with malicious and destructive inklings, notions, ideas, imprints, and thoughts is a must. Note, if we live with this disease called bad mind, regardless of how long we may live, the truth be told, if or when all things are considered, if or when we understand, and understand what I am talking about, we will have realized that we have not really lived, but that we have only existed, or even more accurately, that we have only survived with the disease for that period of being alive. For example, if the record shows, or if the death certificate, by record I mean the death certificate shows that a person or a human has lived to the mature age of, let's say, 80, and our analysis of his or her existence showed and proved that he or she had been infected with the deadly disease called bad mind from the, let's say, the age of 20, then from all that we have learned thus far, in all practical reality, that person or that individual was dead for 60 years. In other words, he or she was dead at age 20, but buried at age 80. Now you may begin to know and understand who and what the walking dead really are. So long life is not something to be boastful about or to be boastful of if we have chronic bad mind. And for your information, it does not matter if the individual was or if an individual is a papa, or if he or she was or is materially rich, such as a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, or even a zillionaire. It does not matter if he or she is well renowned or world renowned, aka famous and wealthy, socially, religiously, politically, philanthropically, or otherwise powerful and thus is worshipped by many. It does not matter if an individual was or if an individual is a head of state. It does not matter if that individual was or is an intellectual genius, a political genius, a musical genius. You name it or you name them. From the mystic philosopher's perspective, if that individual was infected, or if that individual is infected with the deadly disease called bad mind as defined and described thus far and throughout this series of presentations, and especially if or when it became chronic, or if or when it becomes chronic, which I also call chronic bad mind, he or she did not live an abundant life, and he or she is not living an abundant life. Now, for those of you that didn't fully get it, those of you that didn't fully get what I mean by living an abundant life, by abundant life, I am talking about living life optimally and to its fullest. I'm talking about living a life of balance, living a life of honesty and human integrity, living a life that is predicated on respect, a life that is predicated on fairness, equal human rights, and justice for all, living a life of love, joy, peace, and happiness, living a life that is opposed to the denigration, opposed to the violation, the oppression, and the humiliation and the subjugation of our fellow humans. Abundant life means living a life of righteousness, living a life of harmony with spirit, soul, and body. These are some of the qualities and characteristics that bad mind people, and especially the chronic bad mind people, do not have and cannot possess. And that is the reason why they are not living a life of abundance and cannot live a life of true abundance. Bad mind people, individually, collectively, nationally, and globally, are always living in fear. They are always living in fear because of their own sinfulness, their own bad-mindedness and wickedness and self-assured retribution. They are always in a frightened state, and as such, they are always worried about security. Nobody worries about security like bad-minded people. All of them, from the top down to the bottom. And to live in fear and insecurity is to live in unhappiness. Bad-minded people are always unhappy. In summary, abundant life and living a life of abundance means be and becoming all that we or all that you can become, and become as a natural, native, earthly human on this side of reality. For example, a tree will strive to become all that it can be. And why? It is because that is its inherent nature. And before it complete its life cycle, meaning before it grow old, withered and die, the natural process that these fearful and unnatural creatures or humankind or human being are trying to disrupt, trying to extend their cycle through artificial means. So before the tree grow old and withered and die, it can and it will become all that it can be if all its requirements and conditions are met. And the same is true for us, the natural native earthly humans. In our becoming, we can and we will become all that we can be if or when all the requirements and conditions are met. And the basic requirement and condition that must be met in order for us to become all that we can be is for us to get rid of bad mind. But again, I have run out of time for this segment, so please, I'm asking that you please join me in episode 15, where and when I will continue with more of my thought-provoking perspectives on what I perceive to be an abundant life and living a life of abundance, while proving these points and showing and telling you more as to how you may know and how you too can know a bad-minded person, aka a sick person, and how we may heal and protect ourselves from the curse of bad mind, especially chronic bad mind. I ask that if again, I'm going to ask that if you can, that you please support these series of short presentations titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living. It's Another Perspective on Healthy Living, by simply purchasing your daily supply of lignans from the Norwegian spruce tree, aka Fountain of Life, from yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher, by clicking on the links provided in the description area below this video. You may also purchase a digital copy of my song playing in the background called Have You Heard of Fountain of Life, by clicking on the link by the same name. It's provided right there in the description area. Your kind support will be greatly appreciated. In the meantime and between time, my people, in your becoming, remember the tree become? In your becoming, I will that you be more and not less, aka be less. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.